Hi guys. So I wanted to get on here and just talk a little bit about my platform, why I decided on these 6 points. As I was putting together the platform, I wanted to talk about things that matter to people and things that can actually be done. These are kind of 6 solutions that I think are possible that would drastically improve life here in Utah. And also, each one represents a different part of my values. So yeah, it's kind of a quick introduction. I'm going to try and make a video about each of these 6 points. This video is going to be about banning corporate money in politics. This is number 1 in my list because I think it's something that we can all agree on. I think we can all agree that banning corporate money in politics is a good idea. I just really value independence from lawmakers. What powerful people care about what needs to stop mattering. It needs to stop mattering what a select group of people think. I've seen firsthand how there are politicians that will vote maybe not 100% what they think is right, but it's going to get them something else later on. And they play this game where in order to please donors and their party base, they vote a certain way even though they know that it's wrong. I hate that. We need to get away from that if we're going to move forward. The core message of my campaign is we need more everyday people, more normal people in office. We need fewer career politicians because normal people don't have aspirations to become president. You know, that's what's so great about having a legislature. In theory, a normal person should be able to win. Someone who doesn't want to be a politician but just wants to help the community. Can we fix the system so that that's more possible? A few rich people control this entire state, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of so few people controlling the future of so many lives. We need to get back to grassroots organizing. But back to corporate money in politics. If we just completely got all of the money from corporations out of politics, we would also see less money in politics. I think we can all agree that less money in politics would be a good thing. We get so much mail. We get so many ads. It's so annoying. And I, for one, am so burnt out. As far as feasibility goes, the support in the legislature for doing this is so low because they get all of their money from corporations and they are owned by these big businesses, these powerful interests in this state. Let me actually look into this. Let me look up. Let's see if I can find a poll of how many people think that we should ban corporate money. I found some interesting stuff. The YouGov National Survey found broad disagreement with Supreme Court on Citizens United. If you don't know what Citizens United is, it was a 2010 decision by the Supreme Court. It held that corporate funding of independent political broadcasts and candidate elections cannot be limited. So essentially that corporations, there are some limits on how much they can give to candidates, but there are no limits on how much they can spend on behalf of candidates. So this created super PACs. You get a bunch of dark money, you put it in a pot, and then you spend it on a candidate without the candidate technically ever seeing it, and without the candidate coordinating with the dark money. We've seen issues with this. 79% of Americans in this YouGov poll disagreed with the Supreme Court. 79% don't like Citizens United. So what's happening? There's this initiative in Montana to basically sidestep Citizens United. I think it's very cool. It creates a new class of person, and they call it an artificial person or an artificial entity or something like that. And they lump in all the businesses, the corporations, LLCs, all that becomes this class, and then they specifically take away the rights to donate to political campaigns from this class of entities. It's a really interesting way to sidestep Citizens United. The legislature should follow this example set by Montana. 74% of Montana voters are in favor of banning corporate money in politics. Around 75 to 80% across all these polls across the United States, about 80% are in favor of some sort of campaign finance reform. This is truly a uniting issue, and I think in this time we need to focus on issues that unite us as the people. I think it's been said over and over, the powerful few are trying to divide us. They're controlling our social media. They're giving us news clips that are going to make us angry. They're doing all this to divide us and make us think that our neighbors are against us. It's just not true. I have way more in common with my MAGA neighbor than anyone in the legislature. As long as we allow corporations to buy our legislature, they will continue to vote in their favor instead of in the favor of the people. 80% is so big. That's such a big number for times when we are so divided. And it's like everyone wants this to happen, and yet it's not happening. So why don't we stop pretending like it can't happen? Like I said, I'm not a politician. I don't have career aspirations that I need to manage. We need more regular people who are able to come into the legislature and say like, this is what I think should happen. This is what all my neighbors are telling me should happen. This is why they're mad. Let's actually do something about it. Instead of fiddling the knobs and doing the culture war and focusing on things that don't matter, let's focus on things that do matter. Can we elect people that will go into the legislature without having to manage their future career? Banning corporate money in politics, if that's the hill I die on and it ruins my career, I don't care. It's what I believe, and that's what people want, and it's what I want. It's what needs to happen. If it kills my political career, I don't care. I'm a civil engineer. We need to make stuff like this the top priority and keep talking about it. They will eventually ban corporate money. I've heard this analogy. We don't want to poke the bear, that the legislature is just all powerful, and that if we ask for too much, then they will punish us. I think that fear is valid. But also, I think that the legislature needs to stop poking us. The legislature needs to stop poking the bear, because we, the people, are in charge of them. We're their bosses. We need to assert our power as the people and say, we want this, and this is what's going to happen. We are your boss. We are the legislature's boss. And so why are we afraid of poking the bear? They should be afraid of poking us. We're the bear. To summarize, banning corporate money in politics is so important to me because I value independence. I value clear judgment. I value getting rid of conflicts of interest. And we need to assert our power with the legislature and bring them in line and say, you have to actually work to earn our support and earn our money. You don't get to just talk to a few powerful people and say the right things and vote the right way in order to get a few corporate donations. That's not okay with us anymore. And I think that this would fundamentally change politics in Utah. I think that politics would become more fair, more representative, and more kind. I think that we'd have less corruption, and that's why I care about it so much. Thank you so much.